Mr. President, today is a historic day, as Senator Wyden has made clear, and Senator Feinstein and Senator Rockefeller and many other senators to follow. Before I talk about my involvement in the efforts that were put forth to reach this day, I want to say to Senator Wyden, my good friend, you honor me with those comments, and I want to acknowledge that when you're in a fight, it matters who you're in the fight with, and it's been my privilege and honor to fight on the side of transparency, on the side of protecting the Bill of Rights, and this has been a righteous cause. We're going to continue to work to find the right balance between privacy and security. And as Ben Franklin famously implied, we can have both, but we don't end up with both if we set aside the Bill of Rights and those fundamental principles that are enshrined in the Bill of Rights. So it's been my privilege to fight alongside you. And I wish you all the best. And yes, us Westerners will stay in touch. Turning back to the matter at hand today, almost 6 years after the Senate Intelligence Committee voted to conduct a study of the CIA's detention and interrogation program, and nearly 2 years after approving the report, the American people will finally know the truth about a very dark chapter in our nation's history. Mr. President, I've had two goals at the beginning of this long process, and I still hold those two goals today. First, I've been committed to correcting the public record on the CIA's multiple misrepresentations to the American people, to other agencies in the executive branch, to the White House, and to Congress. And second, my goal has been to ensure that the truth comes out about the terrible acts committed in the name of the American people. Why, Mr. President? Because I want this to be our way going forward, that neither the CIA nor any future administration repeats the grievous mistakes that this important oversight work reveals. This has been a careful and very deliberative process. We have compiled and drafted and redacted and now released this report. It has been much harder than it needed to be. Senator Wyden and many others have pointed to that. And it brings no joy to discuss the CIA's brutal and appalling use of torture, or the unprecedented actions that some in the intelligence community and the administration have taken in order to cover up the truth. But by releasing the Intelligence Committee's landmark report, we affirm that we are a nation that does not hide from its past, but learns from it. And that an honest examination of our shortcomings is not a sign of weakness, but of the strength of our great republic. We've made significant progress since the CIA first delivered its heavily, I want to underline heavily, redacted version of the executive summary to the committee in August. The report we released today cuts through the fog that the CIA's redactions created and will give the American people a candid, brutal, and coherent account of the CIA's torture program. And as the chairman said earlier today, even when public tensions were high, our committee continued to work behind the scenes to successfully whittle down 400 instances of unnecessary redactions to just a few. We didn't make all the progress we wanted, and the redaction process was filled with unwarranted and completely unnecessary obstacles. But all told, after reviewing the final version, I believe that our landmark report accomplishes the goals I laid out at the outset and tells the story that needs to be told. Mr. President, it also represents a significant and essential step towards restoring faith in the crucial role of Congress to conduct oversight of the intelligence community. Congressional oversight is important to all of government's activities, but it's especially important to those parts of government that operate in secret, as the Church Committee discovered decades ago. The challenges the Church Committee confronted 4 decades ago persist today. Namely, how to ensure that those government actions which are necessarily conducted in secret are nonetheless conducted within the confines of the law. The release of this executive summary is testament to the power of effective oversight and the determination of Chairman Feinstein and the members of the committee to doggedly beat back obstacle after obstacle in order to reveal the truth to the American people. I have much more to say about these obstacles and about the critical importance of reforming an agency that refuses to even acknowledge what it has done. And I will deliver those remarks soon. But for now, I want to congratulate the chairman and her staff on this really very, very important achievement. The document that we are releasing today, finally releasing today, is the definitive history of what happened in the CIA's detention and interrogation program. We've always been a forward-looking nation, but to be so, we must be mindful of our own history. That's what this study is all about. And it's why I have no doubt that we will emerge from this dark episode with our democracy strengthened and our future made even brighter. Mr. President, I yield the floor.